Hi there, this is your friend Anna, and the question that I've been getting the most from all of my friends is what are we wearing? This age-old question isn't just about choosing an outfit, it's about choosing how we present ourselves to the world. I created the I Want Her Shoes podcast to dive deep into what it means to dress with intention, whether you're heading to a council meeting or just having a casual day out with your family. Join the conversation as we explore the power of personal style and the decisions that shape our public personas. Put on your favorite pair of shoes and step into my closet. All right, well, welcome back to the I Want Her Shoes podcast, where we spotlight women who are building wealth, shaping communities, and redefining power on their own terms. I'm your host, Anna Anisin, and today we're talking about something we don't discuss enough in women's space. That's ownership. And ownership of assets, ownership of strategy, ownership of risk, ownership of your financial future. My guest today is Natasha Falconi, founder and president of Falconi Capital, a real estate investment firm focused on value-add multifamily properties across South Florida. And Natasha has seen deals from every angle: accountant at a top 3 firm, chair of a bank, property manager, investor with her own capital in every deal. She doesn't just understand numbers, she understands leverage, negotiation, forecasting, and what it actually takes to win long term. And this episode is about wealth building with intention, revitalizing neighborhoods, and why women need to be at the investment table, not just decorating it.
That's right.
Well, welcome, Natasha. Let's start with your journey. You worn so many hats: accountant, bank chair, property manager, investor. What through line connects all of those roles? And first, tell me about yourself. Are you a native Miamian, South Floridian, or did you come from somewhere else? Where are you from?
I was born in New York, but I have been here my whole life. So therefore, I consider myself a native, even though I wasn't born here, because this is the place I've lived my whole life, pretty much.
So you are a native.
So I consider myself a native, yes.
I love that.
I do.
And now tell me, what kind of is a third line connecting all of your roles? Because I'm sure kind of creates the story for you.
It's interesting, and I think it happens to many of us during our career, where you do something and you learn a skill, and then you do something else, and then you do something else, and you don't realize how it's all threaded together. So I started my career as an accountant. Then I went on to work for a real estate firm where I handled all of the aspects of owning real estate and in commercial real estate. While I did that, I was able to be a chair of a bank. So see all the different things, right? Like I did the property management and ownership. I learned accounting. And then I decided that it was time to build wealth for myself and my family. And so all of that came together because every stage of that, every part and every stage that I was in added a nugget to what I'm doing today, which is buying real estate, investing in real estate, and helping women invest alongside me.
That's awesome. No, that's an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing it. And you focus on value-add multifamily properties. For listeners who aren't that deep in real estate, what does that mean, value-add? What does that really mean?
That's a good question, because you hear that word thrown around a lot, and it means, depending who's speaking, it could mean a lot of things. But I'm going to tell you what I believe the most important part of value-add is. So I buy properties that are, let's call it, just like not doing well, not very attractive, kind of falling, I don't want to say falling apart, but looking dilapidated and not very happy. And so value add to me is being able to take assets that are like that and revitalizing them, making them nicer, creating nicer places for people to live, where the people, the community can stay there and enjoy their kitchen and their living room and kind of make it nice. While we do that, we improve operations and also provide good returns for our investors.
That's cool. No, I think that then everybody wins all around, right?
You don't have to choose.
And you've sat on both sides of the deal, the lender and the borrower. How does that give you an edge?
It's wonderful because now I've been a borrower on the borrow side of the table my entire career, and having that benefit or that wonderful experience, I should say, of being in a bank where I'm sitting in the lending rooms where nobody really knows what happens in there. Well, now I do. I understand exactly what banks look for. I understand how a owner needs to communicate with a bank in order to make a deal successful, and the things that you need to communicate so that both sides win.
Right. Right. No, that's a great answer. And as a woman in real estate and finance, industries that are traditionally dominated by men, what resistance have you faced and how did you navigate it? Because I'm sure you probably face that still to today, right?
You know, it's one of those things. In many instances, you're the only woman in the room. And so my philosophy is be that woman in the room that opens a door for other women to also be in that room. And when you're in there and you're facing that adversity, just don't take it personally.
You hear that? Do not take
it personally. Show up, show your experience, show what you can do, and let that speak for itself.
That's amazing advice, because that should matter. Really, is what your experience is on how you could do the job versus who you are, right?
Exactly.
So, and you invest alongside with other investors. Why was it important for you to have skin in the game?
It's one of my favorite questions, because I think if you're going to invest in real estate and you're going to invest in real estate passively, you should always ask the sponsor or the operator, are you investing your money in this deal? Because that way you have a comfort that we're aligned.
Right. And what if they're not investing it?
Then that's a choice.
Yeah.
I invest in all of my deals alongside my investors, because I believe that if I have skin in the game, then what does that mean? That means that we're going to be aligned, and you're going to believe that it's a good investment because I'm putting my money in it too. So I feel strongly about that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great answer, and I agree. And let's talk a little bit about risk. How do you evaluate whether a property is potential or a liability?
Okay. I believe in the areas that I invest in. That's one thing. So understanding your market is key, because all markets have highs and lows.
Right.
And knowing that you can, no matter how great they are, knowing that you can navigate the lows or that you can foresee those is important. And how do you know? If you become very invested with knowledge in the markets that you're in. So that's one way. And also making sure that when the beginning is really important. How you come into the deal, how you leverage the deal, and how you handle all of that will matter. Because when things are really good, things are really good. But when things start to come down, can you manage that time frame? And that's what's key.
Yeah, so that is you have to find a good balance with that, right?
You have to find a good balance. And you still take risk, right? Because if we don't take risk, then there's no reward. But educated risk. And understanding, if you understand the market, you'll understand if you should be doing a deal.
Yeah, well, that's a great answer. And revitalizing underperforming properties also impacts neighborhoods and tenants. How do you balance investor returns with ethical responsibility? Because I'm sure that's very hard.
To me, ethics are like across the board. It's like the umbrella for everything. Like, you have to do the right thing. You have to do the right thing for your investors. You need to do the right thing with the residents of your community. So how do you balance it? There are occasions where maybe there's a tiny bit less of a return because we decide to do something better for the residents. And what you do is you communicate it to the investors. Because yes, everyone wants to make a return, but there's also something about making sure that you're creating like a great asset for the people of the community. Right. So you kind of balance that and ethically across the board.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I'm sure not everybody does it, but I'm glad that you're doing it.
I think it's a secret sauce.
Yeah. Because then everybody's happy again and people are getting good investment. People are living in a great place, right? Everybody's happy.
I had a resident call me today that was in our property 2 years ago. They left town, they came back, and I am the person they called to see if we had an availability.
That's so cool.
That's how you do that.
Returning business.
Yeah.
So what is one financial mistake that you see high earning women make? I'm sure there's more than one, but
Saving money.
right, that's hard for us.
No, I think we save too much money.
Do we save too much money?
And
Or,
I like, not a mistake. I'm not saving. We put it in the bank.
or people don't invest it. They just
And not
save
invest.
it.
You
Yeah.
put it in the bank. I'm gonna be safe. Or you put it in the stock market, and you're like, oh, stock market's not safe, but it's what we know.
Right.
Women need to invest. They need to invest in real estate and diversify.
Right. Yeah. No, and what should women in their 30s and 40s be thinking about right now when comes to wealth building aside from diversifying? Or how can they get started? If let's say what do you do if you said yes, I want to start diversifying?
I will talk to all women, and then we'll talk to women in their 30s and 40s. If you haven't invested in real estate, start now, because it's never too late to start.
No, it's good. And I've actually made more money in real estate than in tech, and my career's in tech.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. And I would say 30s and 40s, if you love your career, absolutely go all in. Enjoy your career, but diversify, because we have many high income earning women that decide to have only that W-2 job, but not take their earnings and start investing and diversify and growing wealth at the same time. Grow in your career and grow your wealth.
Right. No, that's a great advice. And how has your perspective on money evolved over time?
I used to be a saver. I used to think that I had to pull the money out, put it in a savings account, put it in the savings account. And I realize now that wealth is not just about cash. First, take risk, invest in real estate. That is what's changed my life. And second, wealth is not just about that. It's about how you live your life. It's about, you hear that buzzword, financial freedom. What is that?
What does that mean exactly?
What does that mean, right? Well, that means that you live your life on your own terms, whatever it means to you. To me, it means that I can go on a vacation whenever I like, that I can take a Tuesday off if I feel like it, that I work on a Saturday because I love what I do.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you. And now let's talk a little bit about style and how has that evolved as, you've navigated your career. And, you look really great.
Thank you. I used to be in corporate and back in the day, and we were wearing the business suit. Now you can get more creative with your outfits. And to me, as long as you're, polished, well put together, look nice, I think you need to be you.
Yes, no, you need to be you. And my next question was about presence, How do you command authority? It's just, like being you, right? Like putting together a cute outfit and like walking in like you own the place. But do you have any other tips?
Owning the place and knowing where are you walking into? Do you know the people that are in the room? Do you know the facts of what's happening? If you're walking into a boardroom, do you know what you're going to talk about? Have you studied what it is? So it's not only like your presence, it's what you do in here. And when you show up that way, that's game changing.
Right. And I think it's very important, like what you said earlier, too, that it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. Really, it's about what you know and like how you carry yourself. Right. And how well you do the job.
And your confidence will show.
Exactly. And if someone wants to break into real estate investing but feels intimidated, where do they start? Do they talk to you? Or if they don't have somebody like you, where can they really start?
Yes. Well, I believe that if you want to break into real estate and you don't know what you want to do, I decided to focus on multifamily. If anyone is interested in learning about that, they can reach out to me on Instagram, and I have like a 5-step thing. If they DM me,
well, yeah, we'll share that as well.
And I always love talking to women that want to learn more about real estate. So that's one way. But if you really want to deep dive, listen to podcasts about real estate. Listen to, follow people on Instagram or any of the social things and learn what they're doing and watch them and then kind of figure out what you like. Attend groups, find a group of people, find a community, talk to people that are doing it, and then you'll establish your own opinion or the things that you like, and then you can start navigating that way. Attend conferences.
All right. I guess, what are some kind of hot investment markets now? Other than South Florida, because I know that's been kind of, it's still, I mean, hopefully it's not a bubble, but it's still growing.
I don't think South Florida will ever be a bubble. There will be bubbles. There will be bubbles, but in general, if you buy right at any time, that South Florida will always keep growing. I don't know about other markets except what I read because I am hyper focused on South Florida.
Right. What about like different places in South Florida? Is it a really good investment still? Because I feel like obviously where we are is not. This was already peaked, a while ago. But what about some other places?
I think there's deals everywhere.
Right.
And the difference is that you have to look at more deals to find a deal.
Right.
So I invest in Hialeah. These are markets. I mean, Hialeah is not a large market, but
a full blocks away.
Hialeah, Little Havana, North Beach area, Miami Beach. There's different pockets that I invest in. There's a lot of investors there, but there are deals to be found. Mm-hmm. It's not meant to be easy.
Definitely not.
And it is a market that's always growing. It's not a straight line up. It goes up, it comes down a little, it goes up. But the South Florida market is just solid.
Right, I know, but I mean, it's like how much more expensive are the houses on the water to get? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like, it's like
that's
literally,
true.
I feel like now they're just like so expensive. It's like not if you can't even insure.
Yeah, if you're we're talking residential, that's absolutely a whole other beast. Yeah. But if you're talking affordable housing, I believe that it's absolutely achievable. And another thing, sometimes women believe that you need to have millions of dollars to invest. And you don't. You can start with much less money and participate in a syndication or find other people to partner with so that you can get started.
No, I think, that's great advice. And then you can have some recurring revenue for yourself.
Absolutely. That's the idea.
All right. Well, let's do this or that wealth edition.
Okay.
Cash flow or long-term equity?
Long-term equity.
Absolutely. Negotiation table or site visit boots?
Ooh, I like them both, but I love the site visits.
Power suit or power heels or both?
Both, but the heels first.
Love that. Spreadsheet deep dive or big picture strategy?
Big picture strategy.
High risk play or steady compounding?
High risk with a lot of due diligence.
Yes. 10-unit building or 100-unit complex? Or both? I mean, I don't know. Like, what is better investment? Is it better to invest in something really big or smaller?
It's about the return.
Okay, so it's all about
the return.
Quiet wealth or visible success?
Quiet wealth is great.
Right.
But visible success so that other ladies could follow along.
I love that. So both.
Both, yeah.
Luxury splurge or reinvest it all?
Both. You make the wealth so that you can do the luxuries.
Exactly. Yeah, and then invest the rest of it.
Yeah.
Bank, boardroom, or construction site walkthrough?
Oof. I love all three, but I love the construction site walkthrough.
Yeah, no, it's fun to see. I love that too because you could see like the vision of where you're going to be.
Yes.
Legacy mindset or lifestyle mindset?
Legacy.
Yes.
All the way.
Agreed. Well, Natasha, thank you for bringing clarity, confidence, and financial power to the I Want Her Shoes community. You remind us that wealth isn't accidental, it's intentional, and that ownership is power, and that women deserve seats at every investment table, especially real estate, right?
Yeah.
To everyone listening, whether you're building your first portfolio or just beginning to understand how money really works, may this episode remind you you don't have to fear finance. You could learn it, you can leverage it, you can own it. And you can also reach out to Natasha if you have any questions about this. And she's happy to help, especially if you're here or if you want to invest into South Florida from anywhere, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's a really great investment still, it sounds like. So,
oh, absolutely.
yeah. Well, thank you so much, Natasha. So
thank
you
for having me. It was